Hi everyone, it's Veronica, and I am here to share with you the cards that I created from the Crop and Create Delivered card making virtual event that was in March and is hosted by Scrapbook Cards Today. I did participate in this event in the fall, so the spring came around and I was ready to go. The event was so pretty. There were so many florals, so many pretty colors, absolutely beautiful. The majority of the cards that I created, I have already sent out. I participate in a year-long Bible study group, have been doing it for many years, and I wanted to send the ladies cards before we ended our session in May. They loved them. They could not believe that they were hand-created cards. So that just made my heart joyous because I wanted them to be pleased with what I had sent and to enjoy it as well. All right, what you see before you is the booklet that we received in our event kit, and these were snippets of what the projects were going to look like. In the Facebook group, they do sneak peeks leading up to the time when the boxes are shipped out. So we got a chance to kind of see what was coming. And isn't it beautiful? And you know, in the booklet, you get who the vendor is, the products that's included in the kit, and then the things that you need to provide, as well as preparation for the class. There's sometimes some homework that we have. Okay. All right. Also, with the kit, we received swag, and this time we got another stamp block, and I think that's customary for each kit that they send out. We received this magnetic dish, which was perfect. When you have smaller dies that you have to try to keep up with, look at that. They do tell you not to put this bowl near your phone, but we did receive that. And we also got the Mighty Mister from Spellbinders. They provided this for every person that participated in the event. Okay, so I will be sharing the classes in the order in which we did them, showing you the contents of the kits and what we had to provide. There were items that I purchased that were not a part of the kit, and I did that on my own. And there were substitutions that were made. If I had inks that I thought were close to what they were using, that's what I would use. So hopefully you enjoy what I am sharing, and let's go ahead and dive in. Now we have tailored expressions, and we were creating in quads. This was such a cool way to create multiple cards in one pass. So here she has this envelope, and she sells these on her website that you can put your collections in. All right, and it also came with this label to slide in the slot, so that was pretty cool. All right, so let me share with you what was in her kit. Creating in quads. This is the stencils that we use. And this actually covers a full 8.5 by 11 sheet. So once you have used all 4 stencils, you cut those panels apart and you have 4 cards. You have to do a little trimming on the edge, but you will have 4 card panels already done. And she gave a little tip about seeing the numbers, because if you've worked with stencils, you know the number is kind of light to see. It's actually this color, so it's kind of hard to see. Sometimes you have to hold it up. So she said take a Sharpie marker, color over the number at the bottom, and then take a paper towel, wipe off the excess, and this is stencil number 1. So you do that to all your stencils, and there are 4 stencils in this set. These are the coordinating dies. And you can go on her website and buy these if you would like to. They hold them for a little while after we have finished the classes, and then they release it to the public. So you can buy all of these individually or however you choose to buy them. All right, she included the envelopes for the cards, and we made 4 cards. She had what she calls insiders. These were the sentiments that you can put inside the cards. And then she also had the sentiment strips to put on the outside of the cards. All right. I also purchased her Bits and Pieces gold glitter drops, a burlap embossing folder, and a fine line script folder. I stamp, fine line script stamp. I had a smaller script stamp, but I needed something larger, so that was pretty cool. Good to have that. And additionally, what was used was I pulled out Spellbinders dies for this is the Curved Basics, and we had to use that on one of the cards. You could buy hers, but we all have dies like this, so I did not purchase that. And I also purchased her ink cubes so that I could have the colors, and you don't have to purchase those either. If you have colors that you would like to substitute in its place, you can do that. And that's with any of the vendors. You don't have to buy their inks. If you have inks you can substitute, that's what you do. All right, here is the first card. Love how this one came out. She included all of the bases. They were already scored and ready to be folded. And again, like I said, she included the envelope, so these cards are ready to go out. We also used her Champagne Fun Foil. So there's this spray called Pixie Spray, which I was not familiar with. I did purchase that. And then you spray the card panel after you have ink blended it and put the foil on top of it. And the shiny side of the foil is up. The right side is up. And you just press over it and you end up with this glitter. That was so pretty. All right, and then this was the insider card that she included that I chose. You could pick either one you wanted. Okay, so that was one. This one uses that burlap folder. And I did a little ink splattering. But these colors are so soft and so pretty. And this is the insider I used with that one. And again, the quads will create 4 panels for you to use. All right, this one is where that script stamp was used. And it kept giving me a fit right here trying to get this portion stamped. I don't know why it wouldn't stamp. It would ink up, but it just wouldn't stamp until a numerous amount of times. But we got a little ink there, so that's good. So that's that one. And this is the insider. And you can buy sets of her insiders. All right, and then this one should have had the ink stamped, the script stamp, but because I had such a hard time with that other one, I said, no. But this is how that one came out, and this is using those gold glitter dots again, and the insider. All right, so that is Tailored Expressions. We have scrapbook.com, and the class was called Magic Meadow. We received these 2 paper pads, the pastel and the meadow pattern collection. Okay, we also received this stamp set with the coordinating dies included. Okay, the cards that we created. I think those critters are so cute. And I had a lot of fun ink blending those. But this is so pretty. And that's the inside. Super, super cute critters. And that's the inside. And then we had this one. And the inside. All right. So that was scrapbook.com. This class was presented by Spellbinders, and it is called Cheerful Chirps. When we received our package, when it was initially sent out, Spellbinders was not in it, so we got them separately. There was some manufacturing issue or something. But we were so excited when this package came from Spellbinders, and it was the cutest. Okay, so in the kit were these sequins, bright and cheery, and all of these papers. And you see I wrote the names of the colors on here to make sure that I was using the right colors when cutting. And let me show you their cutting guide. That was something else. You're die cutting, but that is who Spellbinders is. But this was the cutting guide. We do a lot of prep work before classes begin, so you can have all this done. There's no way you can do all of this cutting and assembling and putting the card, assembling the die cuts and then putting the card together during that time period. So that was the cutting guide. All right, we have this stamp set. And look at these cuties. And they are for sale now if you just want the birds. And this one. So that's, and they're pretty good size. And we also got this 3D embossing folder. Okay, let me share the cards with you. I have them out of the bag. This was the first card. Look at that. Love. Isn't that big bird cute? He is adorable. Okay, and then the second one. I love the sentiments. Love the font. So you can see just how much die cutting it was. And then the last one. So again, none of the insides are completed. But this was Spellbinders, Cheerful Chirps. And again, as with all of the vendors, all of the items are for sale now if you'd like to purchase. You can't purchase the kit, but you can purchase the individual pieces. Okay. Okay, we have Lawn Fawn, and if you're familiar with Lawn Fawn, you know they deal in critters. Love their little critters and love their puns. This class was called Beachy Greetings, and what was included in the kit was this stamp set and the coordinating dies and that the magnetic dish that I had was perfect for this. All right, we had coordinating stencils. Now normally Lawn Fawn deals in coloring, Copic coloring specifically, but this time they were using these stencils. So that was interesting. And here was another set of dies. And this, can't get it to go down. this stencil called Lawn Clippings. All right, and I did purchase this glitter, but I did not use it. And I had purchased this Wink of Stella marker pen, and this is what I use rather than the glitter. And the inks that I purchased, and I like their ink pads. And doing this event really is opening me up to other inks that are out there on the market. So I like these because they were nice and juicy. This one is called Bubblegum Jet Black, Moonstone, Peach Fuzz, Fresh Lavender, Butter. Sorry about that. Celery Stick, and Merman. Okay, and these were the cards we created. Super cute if you're into puns. All right, that was the first one. And they did give us papers also, and you'll see that in the background. All of the papers gone, of course. This was the second one. And you can see the little glitter. Jen Shirkus was the presenter, and she loves to glitter all the things. I think you can see it here on the seaweed. All right, and then the last one was this one. So I really had fun with all of the ink blending and using the stencils. So that was Lawn Fawn. All right, now we have Gina K Designs, and we're going to explore what's in her kit. Her class was called Over the Edge Cards. All right, so I had to purchase some of her inks. I already had the black one and the soft stone. The others I purchased. And I really do like her inks. They're very easy to blend. I mean, really, really, really easy to blend. So I'm going to go ahead and start purchasing her larger ink pad sets. But I do like her inks. Okay, so here is what was in the kit. And she's showing the colors also. And this is called the hand-picked flowers and stamps and dies. So here is the coordinating die set. And she gives you the magnetic sheet to put them on. Here's the stamp set. And her stamp real easy as well. And also the stencils. There are 4 stencils in here. This was a technique that she showed us how to use this particular die to repeatedly have the stamps to cut. And she was showing us how to actually get the most out of your paper, and then when you have strips like this left, you just keep those for your sentiments. Okay. We created 3 cards in her class. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I just love all the tips that she gives along the way, and they all do. All right, so this was our first card that we created. Love the font on her sentiments. And again, this is called Over the Edge. And all of these are A2 cards that we've created. But of course, you can always do larger card sets with them. All right, and then we created this one. We actually use our scoreboard to create this grid on the panel. And you probably wonder, how in the world do you mail this? Because this is over the edge. But we had to measure, and this will actually fit in an A2 card. All right. And then the last one was this one. So cute. Love, love, love it. And she did give a tip about mailing square cards. There is extra postage when you mail a square card. So what she suggested doing was cutting an A2 piece of cardstock, put that in the envelope, put your card in there, and that way it appears to be an A2 card. All right, so that was Gina K Designs. They are absolutely gorgeous. I just love all this ink blending. Love, love, love it.